how to have more energy. Let's talk about it because everybody around me tells me they don't have enough of it and drinks hectoliters of coffee. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sylvia. I'm a carnivore diet coach and big city mom. In this video, I will only focus on dietary aspects of improving your energy levels, but there are other things that can affect you. Things like how much sleep you get, the quality of your sleep, environment in which you are sleeping, external factors such as stressors that you can't control, things like your boss, your partner, your kids, how much daily exposure in the sun you get, what season in the year we are in, are there any nutritional deficiencies. There are many things that will influence how much energy you have. But there are a lot of things you can do in your daily life that will help you to gain more energy right away. So let's start with number one. If you eat breakfast, don't eat carbs for breakfast, especially if it's a bagel, jumbo muffin, some sort of a wrap, a sandwich, or worse yet, cereal. If you can believe it, I still see people in my office eating Fruit Loops for breakfast. This kind of food's nutritional value is next to none. You are actually better off skipping breakfast and just wait for lunch, because all you are getting is a sudden spike in blood sugars, a little bit of adrenaline, lots of cortisol, and then 2 hours later you will be hungry again and you will be in a bad mood. You will feel that your energy just suddenly dropped, and we are in business of raising your energy and making it more sustainable. A better choice would be to have 2 hard-boiled eggs with some butter, maybe some bacon, or scrambled eggs with bacon. Or if you're not a carnivore, maybe you can do 2 hard-boiled eggs, some butter, and some avocado. These are all really good choices for breakfast. Even things like a protein shake is a lot better than eating Fruit Loops or a bagel with jelly for breakfast. And while we are talking about breakfast, let's address coffee consumption, because this is going out of control as well. I have to say, it's about a swimming pool of coffee that gets drunk every day on my floor, just on my floor, not in the building. The amount of coffee that people drink in the morning is wild. I see this 18 to 20 ounces, cups filled with iced coffee and some white thing resembling milk. I'm guessing oat milk is the thing of today. It is acidic, it is cold. What a way to destroy your gut first thing in the morning. Even if you read things like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, they tell you not to drink cold liquids first thing in the morning, let alone it being coffee. And I'm not saying don't drink coffee at all. Some people can't tolerate coffee and they are better off not drinking it at all. And some people do quite well with coffee. What I'm saying is just drink your 10 ounces of coffee in the morning. If you're drinking on an empty stomach, you are probably better off shielding your stomach with either collagen, some butter, maybe egg yolk, or a mixture of all three. And then be done with it. Don't do any refills. Don't drink it every 2 hours, because in the end, that much coffee will actually deplete you from being full of energy, and you will just last on that caffeine spike for maybe an hour or so, and then you will feel that you're out of energy, sleepy, and then you have to drink that coffee again. Too much coffee will eventually deplete you from your natural energy reserves. Let's talk about lunches, because lunchtime is such a great opportunity to replenish your energy stores, to give your body what it needs to have a sustainable energy for the remainder of the day or until dinner. But if you want to achieve that, don't eat salads for lunch. Definitely don't eat those crazy kale salads that are drenched in seed oils, sprinkled with some seeds, dried cranberry, maybe fresh pomegranate, and if you get lucky, some of these people will order a little bit of chicken or maybe some goat cheese. Maybe. It is a horrible idea for lunch. Your gut is not made to digest kale. When I was growing up, we would feed kale to horses and rabbits or use it as a decorative plant. Not for your lunch. Don't eat kale for lunch. And I know people believe that the leafy greens are so good for you, but let me tell you this. Most people will have hard time accessing nutrients in the plants because our guts didn't evolve to extract nutrients from kale or other leafy greens. We evolved to eat meat because we have big brains and we need lots of energy quickly accessible to sustain our big brains. You won't get that by eating leaves, and your body will end up using its own reserves to keep you alive and thinking, but eventually you will start feeling really low on energy. So you need to give your body good quality animal proteins. So rather than spending $15 on a fancy green salad with kale, just go to a buffet and get 2 pounds of meat. Steak, ribs, pork chops, whatever you like. But this is a lot better choice, even if you buy it from a lunch place and don't make it yourself. Ideally, make your lunch yourself, but I mean, most of us work for a living, so you might have to compromise. I certainly do. And after I did my original regimen with a PKD, my gut was restored to the point that I can actually go to a restaurant or a buffet and order a bunch of meat, and my body tolerates it very well, even if there are some spices, or maybe it is cooked in, I don't know, fried maybe in some vegetable oils. There are people on my floor that are in their 20s and they all buy these kale salads and they all look tired and without that spark in their eyes that young people have. And then soon after lunch, they are lining up to get another cup of coffee and sugary snacks, which is not difficult to do in my office because lots of snacks in my office are complimentary. And that brings me to my another point. Don't snack. Have a good quality lunch. 2 pounds of meat from 4-legged animals, and then you won't need to snack. Snacking unnecessarily elevates your blood sugars, make your gut busy digesting and breaking down of foods. Your gut needs the rest. It needs to process what you've eaten for lunch and send it up to your brain and to sustain your whole body. This is the way to have a sustainable, even levels of energy for the full day. Snacking is not the way. You know, when I was in my 20s, I had those entry jobs too, and so I didn't have a lot of money to spend for a quality lunch. So we were buying, slice or two of pizza and chase it with soda. But we had no illusions that this wasn't healthy, that it was a cheap way of having lunch and not to feel hungry, but we knew it wasn't healthy. It's different now because the 20-year-olds that consume these expensive kale salads actually think they're doing the right thing that is healthy for them. And it really isn't. Another thing that shocks me that I notice in my office, the 20-year-olds, the incidence of facial acne and then just the quality of skin being just bad among those young people is just so frequent. I actually see more people with skin issues that are in their 20s than I see them with nice, healthy, youthful skin. Let's talk about dinner, because this is yet another opportunity to give your body what it needs to have a sustainable energy level, have a good night's sleep, so the next day you feel rested, you feel full of energy, and you don't need to drink that much coffee to get through the day. Again, I don't recommend salads for dinner. And definitely I don't recommend cakes and desserts after your main meal. Stick with the steak, stick with pork chops, maybe ribs, maybe sausages, whatever you prepare that is full of meat and full of animal fats. Don't ruin it by eating a dessert. Another thing that is important when it comes to dinner is to ideally eat it 3 to 5 hours before you go to bed. And I know not everybody's schedule allows that, so if you can even make it 3 to 2 hours, you will be still better off than just eating dinner and going to bed. This will allow your gut to break down the food, start distributing it around your body, and then you can easily fall asleep, have a quality good night's sleep, and then be more full of energy for the next day. Oh, and did I mention don't drink coffee late in the afternoon or in the evening, because this will definitely disrupt your ability to have restful sleep and will cause you to have less energy the next day. preferably stop drinking coffee before your lunchtime. Alright, so what about those of you that aren't carnivores and want to have some carbohydrates in your diet? I would recommend fruit and starchy root vegetables, so things like taro root, yuca, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes if you don't have autoimmunity, especially joint issues, and preferably eat them around lunch, of course with some good meat with it, and for dinner just stick with the meat. Alright, so these are my dietary tips that will make sure you have high levels of energy throughout the day that derive from your body receiving nutrients it evolutionarily needs, that are just natural and you don't need any extra stimulation. This will do it for this week's video. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe, send it to anybody that is without any energy and drinks hectoliters of coffee, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!